the nominations for trustee. There are two positions that are up. Jean and Jamie will now take nominations.
I nominate Jean.
I'll second Jean.
I nominate Jamie. I'll second Jean.
I nominate Corey Peeper.
Just a second, I gotta catch up here.
I did.
Nominated Corey.
I did.
I did, okay. I second.
And then Jeff and Corey,
Who's that?
I did.
Ask again, any other nominations for village trustee?
I nominate Jason Whitner.
And I'll second that.
Third time, any other nominations?
I move the nomination be closed.
You can't, you gotta ask 3 times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought that was the third time, yep. Seeing as there's none, close nominations. All right, now moving on to nominations for president. Any nominations for president?
I nominate Lisa. I second.
I third Lisa.
I nominate Mike Pope.
I'll second that.
Any other nominations for president? Third time, any other nominations for president?
I nominate Jean.
That's fine. Looks like there was three.
Right, you should have seconds.
All right, so any other nominations for president? So,
I move to close the nominations. Go ahead, Jamie.
Second. Motion adjourned.
I'll second that.
meeting adjourned at 7:04.
And Jenny will follow up with,
Okay, here, if you wanna. Right out.
follow up tonight, or how long do they have before they have to return them again?
It's 5 days. Not business days, just 5 days.
Jean,
Yes.
Jenny? Here. Mike? And Jamie.
Here.
I'd be looking for approval of the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, December 16th, 2024. I'm looking for a motion, as individually read.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Are the minutes?
I'm sorry.
You said,
The minutes. I'm sorry. I was
Okay.
looking at two.
Do I have a second to approve the minutes?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Approval of the monthly bills. Any questions, concerns? If not, once everybody is okay with the bills, please make a motion to go ahead and pay the bills. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We can pay the bills, and I'll do a roll call to pay the bills. Jean?
Yes.
Jenny?
Yes.
Mike? Jamie?
Yes.
Okay, pay the bills. Public comment? Anybody like, can you please state your name?
Lori Pence. And, I'm here to address the letter that Ms. Rough got concerning my camper that's sitting up there. I apologize, I don't have a copy of the letter, but the gist of it was, the board is concerned that there's water hooked up to that camper that's not being metered. First of all, it came in late September, it's winterized. It has never had water hooked up to it, and will not have water hooked up to it while it remains there. That being said, if there was water hooked up to it, it would be running from a hose from Lois's house, which would be being metered. So there will, at no time, be any water being taken from the village, I guess is what it's, if that was the concern, you can put yourself to rest that it's not an issue. And then the second part of that, the concern with that camper being there is that, is there a formal ordinance saying that the camper cannot have people in and out of it while it's there on the property? Yes, I stay with my sister. I have full access to her house. Use all of her sewer, water, it's being paid for obviously. I have a place to stay inside. But just for quietness and peace of mind, when the weather is conducive, we like to stay out in the camper. If it's against the ordinances, I guess I would like a copy of that ordinance, because I looked but I couldn't see anything that specifically says there's no one can sleep in your camper on your own property. So just please clarify that for
Well,
me.
it's not temporary too.
We're gonna be there a while, but we don't plan on being there for years.
So we can look to see if there is an ordinance or what we were referring to in the letter. I know that we have people park in campers all the time and we don't have problems with that. It's just people living in them for long periods of time is what I believe the issue is.
Right, and I understand the water concern, but like I said, all of our sanitary needs and water needs are inside those.
I think it's more along the lines of not having it be a permanent thing. If it was something temporary, I think there's an ordinance that said that people can have a camper with water hooked up and stuff like that as a temporary basis.
Yeah.
But not to be used as living quarters or anything.
All right, so to put the board at ease, our situation is it could be 6 to 8 months, but we don't wanna be in Wisconsin when the cold weather hits again. We were supposed to already be out of Wisconsin, so we will make every effort to make that happen. And like I said, we do have access and sleeping quarters in Melissa's house. So when you see us in the camper at night, we're just having some peace of mind. There's a lot of little barky dogs at my sister's house, and we just like to get away and give them a break, give us a break. I mean, obviously, right now, we aren't in it at all, because it's too cold to heat in here.
I would hope you wouldn't be in it right now.
But when you see the slides come back out, yeah, we'll be in and out of it. We'll be in probably quite a bit, but it is a temporary situation. We don't plan on living there for years.
And we can see if there was some ordinance that we had in the past that we can share.
Okay. And like I said, I read through the ordinances. I didn't see anything that jumped out at me, but I don't want to be in infraction of your ordinances.
I appreciate that, so, thank you.
Yes, Dave Allen, 200 Madison Street. Last meeting, the board went into closed session about raises for employees. We come out, I appreciate what you said after the closed meeting was that, you know, we want to speak to our employees first, which I 100% agree with. But now there is nothing on this about the raises and such. So you did, I take it you approved it, or did you approve it? Because you just come back and said we're gonna talk to the people. And if you did approve it, I think as a taxpayer, I should know what the raise was and what their wages are now. I can't hear you, please.
So raises were approved for both individuals. Each of them, yeah, it's public knowledge, so, raises were approved, it was 50 cents to each one, that was the amount for each one. And I can't recall exactly what it would take them to, actually, I could probably figure it out real fast, here, hold on.
I mean, it's not that you could, email me with that. I mean, I don't want to take up your time on that, but I would just like to know. And with that, I mean, what percentage of the raise is it? 50 cents, 50 cents, but what percentage of what they were making? So did they get a 5% raise, 2% raise?
So, I can't tell you exactly what the percentages, but I can tell you what the old rate was, the new rate, and then we can do the math.
Okay.
So, Aaron was at $25, only took him to $25.50. Okay, so Jenny's was 26, so we took her to $26.50.
Okay, so with that, then, I guess I also would like to know is, it's called a package, in other words, their insurance, their bennies, and all this. So he is making $25 an hour, but really, what is the whole package for the employees' wages? I mean, I don't need it today, Lisa. I'm
Okay.
thinking that I mean, you know,
Yeah,
somebody
there's so
else
much
wants to know
percentage
down
you have
the
to
road.
pay into the Wisconsin WRS, and it's different between each plan, but yes, we can get you, we can
Thank you
supply
very
those
much.
numbers. Anyone else have any public comment? Well, is it on an agenda item coming up?
No.
Okay, well, I speak now forever hold peace.
think that's what was told to me.
And I appreciate that.
No, I mean, I listened.
I appreciate it.
Okay, anyone else public comment? Okay, thank you, public comment is closed. Library director's report, Becky.
So for those of you that may not know, the numbers that I give you are what are also recorded, and then I'll be writing them in for the annual report that I'll be writing up soon, or filling out actually. So for December, we saw 369 checkouts, 140 renewals, 509 total served, 452 returns, and that's by the South Central Library numbers. For our count, we had 188 patrons, 334 checkouts, 12 photocopies, 0 print, 0 at computer, 0 coaching, 0 digitization, 0 study room, 1 new patron. For reference questions, total of 5, 1 fantastic fiction, 2 DVD titles, 1 new Dogman title, and 1 brioche and bread pudding question via Google. Activities to go, 45. 0, age 0 to 5 were 3, 6 to 11, 19, 12 to 18, 17, 19 plus was 0, in general were 6. For our programming totals, we had 142 in attendance, 20 programs. The Gathering, 57 for 5 programs. Everyone continues to bring in like a food item, a recipe, which really helps so that not one person is just bringing it in. Craft time, 17 for 5 programs. After school, we've been seeing a few come in, whether they are scanned or just checking out books. So 11 for 4 programs. Little Story Hour, 4 in attendance for 3 programs. So we actually only had 1 family show up, but due to illness, as I've been told, already it's been improving this month. Homeschool group, 53, 3 programs. We had a candle making project with flowers and oil scents. We had 28 people, and we had 2 more that would have stayed, but they'd already done it. So that was a big surprise that Christine and I managed to divide it up in a group, and we had a YouTube video, so half could watch it for instruction. So I'm really thankful that it all worked out. Everyone had a good time, learned a lot. We also had free time making Christmas cards and ornaments, and it was so good to see all of these children and adults smiling. This is especially for a homeschool group, this is their outside time from their house. I had a patron comment from one of the homeschoolers. She's originally from Oregon, and she said that we have a really good selection and variety of books. Also, for the Gathering and the craft time, there continues to be a good attendance, and so the homeschool, the story hour, and then scan. So even though illness kept a lot of people away, and with the checkouts, I'm trying to read my notes. We had about 580 less checkouts than we did in 2023. But overall, we're doing very well, and our library is a big supporter for various groups of students. So whether they're homeschool, the new patrons, Laredo Ridge Honor School, SCAN, I may be getting, helping them with algebra or spelling, or encouraging them to read about a career. It's all encouraging learning. So that's a big support for our library. In terms of monies, coffee brought in $52, donations $9.80, photocopies $1.20. For some reason, we got a check from Demco. I didn't have a chance to call them, but I was grateful that we received $87.91. This is a book cover supply company in Madison. Like I said, I didn't have a chance. Why are you paying us money? But it was nice. Book sale, $5, damage book fee $4, print was $0. So So for the total of those monies, $159.91. I did not make a deposit. For the silent auction, for the items, we had $1,514.50. For donations, $182.50, and the total was $1,696.50. This was down from last year, but nonetheless, it was, well received, and we thank everyone for their donations and support, and those who attended the chili supper. For digitization, basically recessed, we are always looking for people who are interested in either scanning photos or entering metadata. We have information that you follow, and, we have several people that are trained to help anyone that's interested. So you just have to stop in. Still entering either new or donated DVDs, books. Staff update, I believe I mentioned last month that Christine retired, December 23rd. And so I am looking for a replacement. I'm also looking for substitute librarians. I did get a yes from Jackie Cruz, who was a former library assistant, only until summer though. So anything is great, because even if it's an hour or a day, or no, I can't now, but it's a big help, because if I don't have anybody to help and then I'm sick, well, then I just will say we're closed due to staff shortages. And Judy we continue to work out, her hours. She kinda has a set hours, so if I need her for a day that I don't have to come in, I'll work that out. Okay. And I'm basically like the teacher and the librarian and the director. I get to put together the programs, and so, this month, we have Chinese Lunar New Year, lots of projects, information. I just wish they would check out more books. Okay, I'm also doing, continuing education. What I have done are like the 10-minute InfoSec training, and that's for the technology for security. Okay, Jackie's been volunteering in the same as Eva Jablonski. She volunteers on Tuesday, she's a high school student. Our internet was out last Monday, January 13th at 2 p.m. until, don't know, but it was up and running the next day. I finally called.
Midnight, I think, somewhere when I came back.
What?
It's close to midnight, I think, when I came back.
Okay.
Take it somewhere.
Okay, so not just the library.
No.
And I didn't ask what 10 sites were affected. I did call Thursday, and there was a fiber that was cut. Yes, at least that was an answer. In terms of the heat in the library, I have been turning it down to roughly 65. So at night or on the weekends, I'm not running it so it's like 70 degrees in there. And I have been bringing in water for our hot, or if they want cold beverages, and then we keep the bathrooms over there clean. And then, like I mentioned, I will be starting the annual report. This opens January 22nd. It's a form I fill out, and lots of questions, but with all the information that I keep track of, that makes it a whole lot easier. If you have any questions, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Public Works Patrolman's report, Aaron.
Aaron, Public Works. There's water meters, water shut off notices, all the snow salted. Took it off, put it on the truck, put it up, took it off the truck. Did our water and wastewater reports. We did water and wastewater samples, phosphorus removal class, because we now have ferrous considered a permit. Put up more shelves in the shop, did some shop maintenance, changed the furnace filters, responded to a few well alarms. There's 2 dig tickets. End of the year maintenance as far as the files, and I took vacation during the holidays.
Anything for Aaron? Water bill's over 200. So four of those. It's actually down, so that's good this time of year. That's actually the lowest it's been in quite some time. Discuss, update, approve updates to new business downtown district.
Well, I was just gonna touch, I thought we'd touch on the meeting we had with the DOT and for, you wanna,
You can go and I can fill in, or.
I don't, they're just, they had some concerns with some of the,
Having the number of driveways and
they don't like the driveway that's closest to,
actually the driveway that the current homeowners that have the property, they don't like their driveway right there. They're saying that we have too many access and driveways, so they want to somehow eliminate the driveways or take them down just to one or so. So they somehow wanted it to use the one that the town of Excelsior is maybe using. That was sort of their, and
no, I
then.
know they didn't like
The DOT. So now this whole plan's gotta get past the DOT before it can even, this is the concept of it, needs to get past DOT. They also are
Or the
questioning,
driveway, excuse me, it would be the driveways that are on the north side,
yes,
that's what you're talking about?
Yeah, well-
because
Between-
between the quarry, the town of Excelsior, and then, Pam's house. I'm sorry, I can't remember her last name.
Okay.
Pam A. or something.
and they're pretty firm on a no to the building site we want with the parking lot. I mean, they don't like the turnaround, they don't think that there's access there to turn.
Just went on that issue with the railroad tracks. And determining what type of building it is, like a delivery truck turning left out of there, crossing the railroad tracks, I think they're concerned about.
They're concerned about, with having the business district up here, how much more traffic is that gonna cause?
Sorry.
And then they're concerned about the train traffic and how that, how busy the train traffic is.
They didn't want the crosswalk in there until later.
Cause they were afraid that then with having the train, their other main concern was with the railroad tracks and having the access points. They said it would cause problems with people wanting to quick sneak out before the lanes could actually go once the gates go open.
What do they think we've been doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So I tried to nicely tell them that I don't think there is much traffic there as what they think is gonna be there, even if we build this down here, there's still not gonna be, it's not a big metropolis down here in Rock Springs, but, I know.
Drainage issues were something that the engineers had answered yet for.
But I think drainage issues to me could be solved pretty easy. But then again, we had to keep reminding DOT that we only have so much money. We don't have an open checkbook, so.
Well, I think the issue with the train is the length of time that they sometimes block the crossing. And that could become an issue for our business district, because it could be 20 minutes. I mean.
I thought they passed it where you could, it could be anyone.
I know, but it has become an issue again to me, because I waited one day and I was like third in line over here, but there were 25 cars coming from, the east. That's a long line of cars. So that would cause some problems here with our business district. Well, I don't know, I'm just saying.
I think that Beer Records can go back and figure some stuff out. They're the ones that have to file for the permits with, DOT to get, for us to do all that, so.
So it sounds like that's the step one is to get DOT to approve access points for driveways, and then goes from there, so.
I don't know, it's been amazing this town that, you look at North Freedom, is what, 3-4 times as big as we are?
and they can't support anything, but this has this major highway up through here. That's what supported this town, and now they want to worry about accessing.
Yeah, that's what they sort of wanna do, but they wanted to loop down somehow and
Still didn't like, it still didn't make them like that driveway on the other side.
And
They actually wanted to take that, eliminate that one, and then put a driveway if Jeff was willing, relocate his driveway.
Like, no, that's brand, no, it's like, that's all
This
brand
is the
new.
DOT's theory, to move it down farther.
So
than
we even
access
brought
our
up
lot
the
from
map
there.
view, so you could see it, they're like, oh, that looks like that's fresh asphalt. Yes, it is, like
They
very
want-
fresh.
Are they gonna pay to relocate that driveway?
See, no, it would be part of this plan, and we would be.
They want.
Well, actually, we all would be.
Well, we would be, we would be.
Well, yes, yeah, we would all be.
So anyway, I'm guessing Kurt's gonna bring back alternative. There you go, that's kind of.
I don't think Beerbecker seemed, I mean, I think they were sort of shocked, like I was, for the things that, you know, that seemed to perceive to be the hiccups on why we could move forward. It was,
Did they have a suggestion? Did they have a suggestion?
Unrealistic.
Other than we had to consider moving driveways, there was no suggestion of what they could do about that?
well, we tried to tell them we don't have a unlimited checkbook, that's the deal.
Where would you move? You can't just go move a driveway, it's access to the property.
So, I don't know. It did make sense to me because the driveways that were there, it's not like we were adding any more, it was just.
Just go on.
Potentially, yeah. But, yeah, so we'll see where it goes, so it was just the initial meeting and basically the village, we really didn't have, we were just there to listen for the most part and let the engineer and the DOT guy, they let them go at it and figure out what could be viable and then, the engineer, Beerbecker, will come back to us to say, okay, this is what we worked out with the DOT, so here's some new options that we can possibly do, so.
I know, I'm not supposed to speak now, but is there a time frame on that grant?
No, they want to implement it in
26
26.
is
So
what.
there is one.
There is not a deadline,
So.
but that's what their plan is for 2026.
Well, it
If
is.
we went to 27, 28, is he okay then, or? Because you don't know, dealing with the DOT.
Yeah. They had told the DOT that that's what they were, that's what they wanted. They wanted it approved by the end of this year, 2025, to construct in 2026. Whether, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
So we're no big.
And from our past experience, what we're finding, as long as we can show good faith effort, that we're trying to move projects along and working with all these agencies, usually we can get extensions for the most part. And I mean, and we have followed everything to the T so far of what we've needed to do with this grant, so I'm not worried about us losing anything at this point yet, so I think we'll be okay.
Thank you.
So not much of an update, but we'll, continue. Otherwise, the only thing was, we're not ripping out new asphalt. So don't worry, Jeff, it'll be fine.
That's a driveway thin there.
Okay, next item, discuss, update, approve resolution 2025-01 for a village no cash policy or village cash policy. So we have this resolution here, and it's up to the board to decide what they wanna do. Decide if we want to be cash free or continue to take cash. I guess that's sort of step one. And what the resolution says, is the Village of Rock Springs hereby resolves to be a cash-free facility. Payments can be made by check, credit card, or ACH. Any cash-paying customer has the ability to pay cash for water, sewer bills, and taxes, directly through Reedsburg State Bank, at which time they will be given a receipt directly from the Reedsburg State Bank. So that would be the option if somebody wanted to pay cash. And then, let's see here, so there's that. Or, so the, okay, option to take cash would be, payer will complete a cash deposit slip provided by the clerk which identifies the amount of the cash presented and the purpose of the payment along with the payer's contact information. The cash presented will be sorted by the payer by denominations and the increments of $100 bills, then down. No amount of $1 bills over $10 in total. No coin.
I mean, it's sad that we have to even do this, but yeah, no coin, nothing over $10 in ones.
You'll be paying that $300 all in $1 bills, huh?
Oh, yeah. Sounds cute.
The clerk would count the cash as presented in the presence of the payer and sign the form completed, which will serve as the receipt of payment. The clerk will not accept cash payments from payers who do not observe this rule. So there's a couple options that could be had.
Have you had issues with cash paying customers?
Yep.
I go for the first option, just get the cash, don't deal cash down.
As long as there's something in the bank, I don't see a problem with that. That much Jenny have to deal with that.
My word with cash is that people drop it off in the cash box, say they put cash in there and, oh, it's gone. I mean,
Exactly.
that's my main concern with cash too.
It's not like you're saying absolutely no cash, because not everybody's taking it, right?
Yeah, you could go to the bank and do it.
Yeah, you want to go to the bank and do it? That's not-
And you just
I'll
bring
make
your
a motion to go with, resolution 2055. Dash 01.
Okay, so I have a first and a second. All in favor? So Jean, did you say yes or no?
I haven't decided what is the best for the village. I guess I need to see some arguments. I think the reason the resolution has to come into play is unfortunate, and I wish, I think the option of having someone pay directly to the bank is a good option. I don't believe anybody should be able to bring, you know, a pile of bills and a pile of change that someone has to count out. I think that's an abuse of the system. So, I know the library handles a lot of cash. So it's setting a precedent that would make it, I don't know how that impacts the library per se.
Is that Reese's?
You're separate.
They have a change, they accept change. Like you can bring your change and, which is a big help for us. I take change all the time, they have mine change, whereas BMO, I don't think does that anymore.
Yeah, a lot of
There
things
used
are
to
getting rid of
be
change
does.
for whatever reason.
I think, or excuse me, BMO, you have to bring it in papers. You have to put all the claims in the papers, so they accept it that way.
I know there are donation jugs and stuff, we usually take those in and have them count all the coins and stuff too. Not all the coins, but as far as going totally cashless. I do like the idea of, yeah, you don't want hundreds of ones or something like that to count on and stuff.
Is this for paying like water bills or something? Is there, with us having rentals over here, we have people that do not have checking accounts or credit cards. They get a check in, they are able to cash it and give us cash. Do you have that issue here where people don't have the ability to pay other than cash?
I don't know.
I guess I hate to take that option away from them, that's, we have that issue over there, they don't have checkbooks, they don't have a way of paying us besides cash.
You can bring money order to the post office.
I don't think that's quite the issue here.
No, I don't mind the cash, but I'm not gonna deal with one and send $15 in change in pennies, nickels, and dimes, because it's cute. So, I don't have the facility to count that, and I'm not going to
No, and
sit
I
there and
don't,
count that.
I don't think that's a good way to have, no, it's,
So if you wanna
it's
come
putting
in,
it on.
you know, at most I have 4 residents, I'll be honest, they come in, actually, they all, I have 1 that'll come in and give cash and I give a receipt to, the other 3 that I have drop it right in the box that comes into my office. And they just put on the envelope what it is there. Do I have a concern sometimes that, you know, they didn't count it right, and they put it on an envelope? Sure, but I've never had a problem, and it's never
So
been
you're
the case.
okay handling the cash, you just don't want any changes and you want the cash to be handed directly to you so that you can verify the funds.
Yeah, I mean, I have a deposit slip that lists, you know, how many 1s, how many 5s, how many 10s, I mean, I'm gonna have it to the point that they have to fill it out in front of me, and then I'll verify, but I don't want coins, I'm not.
We shouldn't have to, I mean, if somebody brings in a bag full of pennies, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it should be no more than $1 change, 'cause
No, I'm not even doing that, because then it'll come in at 100 pennies. It's a game
But
that
if,
doesn't
but
end.
water bills are like, and so much cents, you won't even accept that cents?
But it just goes, if the bill was 50 cent, like 10.50, you paid 11, that just goes onto your bill for the next month.
You just need to credit that way.
That's what a lot of people do, is they pay extra and then it just sits on their account.
But are the people that are bringing in all these pennies, are they the ones that struggle with paying their water bill?
No, it's just to get my bills, just to get my bills, yeah.
Okay.
I just think it'd be better for
Yeah,
security, you
obviously.
know? Just for security, I just think the office, I can understand it's different from the library. I don't think it should impact the library, but I think for a village office, at this point, what, you know,
Do you still have a lot of cash payments for your taxes at the beginning of the year?
1, I think I maybe process 1 a year.
I don't know, you used to have a lot of them.
Well, yeah, we used to have a couple here and there, but next year I'd like to, the Stock County has a system that you can actually do it online. You pay it, and you can pay by check or credit card or any of that stuff, so I'd like to have that available for residents to pay that way. For taxes, I mean.
Yeah, I love it, my sewer bill just comes out of my checkbook, I don't even know, but yeah, it would be nice if you do taxes, but then it's.
But some people wanna use credit. But when we do, they can pay credit card, I just don't like it because the fee's so high when you're paying that big of a tax bill. It's not, you shouldn't have to pay
It's not
$15
even,
for,
yeah.
to pay your tax bill.
So
If I can
you,
find a cheaper option for that.
so you made comment about paying water and sewer. In my bill every month, or every whatever, I have a fee charged to me, but if it's ACH, why is there an extra fee coming out of being attached to my?
If you're paying by ACH, it's free. We offer free.
No, it's not, because I'm being charged a fee.
And I put that in the newsletter, so there's 2 ways to pay. We've implemented for credit card and, check, you can pay by ACH check on that payment service network.
Yeah.
We can't afford to take the fee to allow to have that service. So it's the resident's responsibility to pay for that service. If you do ACH, that comes directly out of your account every single month. We have a service here that you sign on a piece of paper and it comes directly out of your checking account for free. I've been advertising it in the newsletter for probably a year now, trying to get residents to sign up for this. I do have a lot of people that do it.
I'm doing something wrong.
You have to, if you want the free ACH service that comes directly out of your account.
It does come out of my account. Then it's not
Something's
free.
not set up.
Then you're not on if you're not on the one that's free. That's the one I process through the bank. The Research State Bank offers that service for free to us.
Okay, then I'm
We need to figure out how to get.
obviously
you on
doing something wrong.
Is your bank charging or is it the village?
No, it's the village.
It's not the village,
it's
it's
not,
payment
it's not
service.
the same service, I haven't changed over to either, just because I've procrastinated.
We would be allowed to have a credit card service without letting another service provided for us. We don't have the ability to. It just increases the
So I'm fine, just writing my check, dropping it in that bid out there, so you don't mind stamp and everything.
Perfect.
Yep, that's perfect, yes.
Well, I can see where going cashless has its advantages. Do we have any other villages that are not dealing with cash? Do we know of any? That would be my only concern.
I haven't. I did put a message out to, it's like a clerk list, like all municipalities. And a lot of them have cash policies to prevent. I did ask Scott County what they do when somebody brings in a pile of change. They just send them out the door and down to the bank and say, go change it in, I'm not dealing with it. So, I mean.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
bank
and
in
that's
town
the
here, so.
That is a huge thing.
That being said, I think I'd like to remove my
Okay.
motion.
Here's one of my second. What do you want? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna pull the motion to go cashless and do the second option. That's the motion I'm making right now. To go with, where Jenny has them fill out a deposit slip and no change. So, no
But you're
bills.
still taking cash though.
Is there anything, when you hear all this stuff on the internet, because of legal tender, you put it in the thing, going against the Constitution, can you say you won't take it?
They're not really saying they won't take it, they're saying if you want to.
No, the attorney was.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that the
No, the
village
attorney
is
was
protected,
one
because
that-
there's these people that push these little constitutional things out.
I just don't like the option that you can put cash in the box up there and just leave it.
Take this option. Ask them to deposit slip.
Well, it should, I mean, right, that's the way I would like it.
The way that I think I am, that no cash in the box.
Then I should put a sign there that says no cash. No cash allowed in the box.
I guess that's the reason that I was going away from the cash, is because I don't want cash accounts.
Okay.
Because otherwise I gotta feel that eventually, especially with all this talk of it, we're gonna end up being a vandalism in that box, and
Sure.
so that's why I was making the motion to go cashless first. But if I have understood this correctly, cash has to be handed to you, and it has to be counted out, and it has to be on the deposit slip. So it's, I guess that's the way I'm understanding it. but
That, I mean, I'm fine with that, that's, and I just put a sign on the box that says no cash payments.
Yeah,
Only
so
in-
some company can
Only
make
in
a mistake.
person with
Right.
the deposit slip.
And I agree with that, right? You know, the whole idea of somebody making a mistake and then being upset at you because, well, geez, I know I had $280 in there when it was actually $260, you know, so.
And I did have an instance where somebody put a cash payment in there, and I didn't find it, but she called, and I was like, I never got anything, it was jammed up in the flat. And I'm glad nobody else went there, and then maybe could have got hold of that payment pulled out. But, so it was jammed in there, but,
So my motion to go with the cash accepted with no coins, but that has to be done through the village clerk directly, not cash payment in the box.
What's that?
Discuss update action on property letters for ordinance issues.
We ordered it, we sent out the last time. So I know there's a couple of homes on the west side of town and a few homes on the east side of town that don't seem to be taking these letters seriously at all. And it's getting to the point now to where we have their trash in the roadways because the trash blows around, the bags are getting ripped open from critters and everything else on, you know, because they just throw the stuff out the door. That's one property instance, but then there's others that are vehicles that have been sitting for years now with no registration or anything like that, and it just, in my opinion, maybe a lot of people And by driving through the main part of town and seeing multiple homes in a row that are just completely like going against these ordinances of ours, like, we're not gonna do anything, you know, we're not gonna take action ever. It's just getting, you know, now it's to the point where trash and garbage, just, I mean, pop bottles and, yogurt containers, and you name it, floating around in the road, you know, and it makes it out to the roadway and then out to the main roadway, and it's just getting ridiculous. And I think that people driving through town probably they probably kind of chuckle when they drive through town and think that we're trying to start a new business district a few blocks from where this is happening. I mean, so I would want to move my business into an area like that. So, I mean, at this point, how many letters do we send before we do something? And what is that something?
Well, we have, is it $15 maybe per day that we can charge? For it not being, for it being a nuisance. So we do have that teeth to do that.
What is our options for if and when they do decide, you know, I don't want to charge $15 a day or a week or whatever, and they clean it up, but it's, I mean, they clean it up halfway, I guess is the nicest way I can put it. Because, I mean, their idea of clean and making the village a place, probably not the same as most other people's in this room, so.
Well, I think we have to be detailed then when you send them what you want done.
I was gonna say, I guess to be honest, I'm not quite aware of any letters that have gone out recently.
Yeah, we did this summer, we sent.
Well, maybe this summer, I guess I thought maybe that there's new ones that have gone here.
There's just these places haven't, nothing's changed since the summer.
We had one resident end up calling us with how he could.
He was really concerned and he took action.
That's the only one out of all the residents that said. I mean, I get no response back from, you know, saying, hey, can you call, we can talk about it, whatever, nothing.
Are they renting or are they,
You know, I send them to the homeowners.
But I mean, are they rented out?
But it don't matter if it goes to the landlord or the owner of the home.
I get it, but you know what I mean?
Well, I guess what does our, ordinance say that?
Well,
They get
it
2
depends.
letters?
No. No, I have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, I can't remember the total detail, but there's a clause in there for it, I can't remember if it said after 1, 2 warnings, or I can't remember what the details are.
You have to follow the process or whatever it does say.
Yeah, and we do have it already written out that.
They usually try to give them like 30 days, I mean, depending on how long you give them, you know.
Because I'm pretty sure the water went out last year too, these same residents.
What if you do like water bills for landlords, put them on a tax roll?
Yeah, that's what we would do, essentially, so. if
Landlords start realizing their taxes are going up every year because their tenants aren't paying on it.
If we did the $15 a day fine, if they weren't cleaned up, then yeah, it would just go back onto their tax roll.
I think at this point now, it's gonna have to be, in my opinion, it's going to have to be, villages approved. You can't put stuff in there, not, you have to say yes, it's fine, or, so.
And I think that's a good idea, I mean, I think, you know, we sent out the letters here and I kind of made a judgment call on who, you know, who they're sending it to, but, I mean, I don't know that it's really for us to go and then determine whether it's acceptable or not, I feel like that's kind of the board, all of you to go and evaluate if you're happy with it.
One thing too is people own different size properties, so who's to say, you know, if they have a camper and a boat and a whatever, you know, and then is that, you know, and then they got the next guy owns an acre and he can, you know what I mean, you're gonna buy, well, there's a lot of stuff in that guy's yard, and there's like, how do you?
I think it's just how it's presented, I mean, when you have, well, the one property where you have leftover garbage cans and bags of garbage, or, you know, just scattered all over the whole yard. And you have another home that has, you know, multiple vehicles that are all just kind of, you know.
For the washer and dryer,
Yeah.
And we have our script dumpster.
give it to people. Okay.
Look into the clause and all that stuff, I guess we can get copies of what we sent out last summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with sending a more letter, but I think there has to be a timeline, you know.
Well, I think that we need to really detail what it is, what do
What do
we
you want
expect
them
them
to
to
do?
do? Like the washer and dryer need to be removed by such and such date. You know, your junk needs to be organized a little bit better.
And then how do you put that nicely to where people don't think it's
Well,
You know, that's-
you
I
have
guess
to be
that-
blunt. I mean, if you want something specifically done, you have to identify what you want done, otherwise you just say, well, what's that mean?
Yeah, they're just not gonna do anything.
That's what I'm saying, you gotta say how it is.
Person to go there and just discuss it with her, you know what I mean, and say, sorry that I'm here having this discussion with you, but unfortunately, it's.
Go for it.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, it could be.
That could be really dangerous.
I get it. I mean, most of the people are somewhat receptive.
I mean, I'm not,
You don't
you
want
go there
to
and just start.
the letter, it's gonna spell it out.
Or just explain the accident, you know.
Well, I think we put a list together and then Jamie and I can talk about. I mean, I think most of them went under nuisance last time when I sent out the last one. But there's a vehicle one, there's a nuisance one, there's other avenues, it just, each house is different, that needs, we kind of need a list that, and then what items we want addressing.
Like I said, we can revisit those properties and see, yes or no, if there's more now, just look at those and, come up with a
Do you want to make a motion or not? Allow us to send letters? You know that, yeah, somebody will compile a list.
The motion will be, we send out a letter, after Jamie reviews the ordinances and determine what the exact process is that we have.
That will be stipulated in the ordinance, correct?
Yeah, it's spelled out pretty clearly.
Then I usually put the ordinance number in the letter when I send it. I can even put a copy of it. They need
Yeah.
a copy. They're online, but.
I would attach a copy.
And highlight, you know, have X number of days, and then we
Yeah,
will
we did
stipulate,
You have to be very specific on what you want them to do, otherwise.
yes. Don't leave any room for guessing.
Get together, Jamie and I. Everybody else would like to do it.
And I can get you a list of the houses that way, when we drove around,
Yeah.
the ones we saw.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I know house numbers on the lease, and
Yeah.
just, I don't know the ones on the west side.
Well, it's perfect on the west side.
Yeah, there's not many over there.
Nothing over there.
I actually don't think I sent anything, any to the, on that side, huh?
There really is,
One of the better
if you're going out of town, there's only one.
Somebody a second. Did you second it?
Okay, all in favor? And I approve. President's reports, we're just moving forward, working with DOT, Beer Becker, as we mentioned. So, otherwise, nothing else really going on, just into the new year. We just keep moving forward. Building permits.
I just had a roofing for Stevens on Broadway, West Broadway, East Broadway, East Broadway. We already did.
That was around the porch.
No, I think, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a whole house.
Oh, June.